We now understand the pre-approval process and whether or not we should be set up with multiple lenders. Let's jump ahead. Let's pretend we're under contract for a home. I'm going to show you how to get the best deal possible and the best mortgage terms possible by shopping lenders. This is definitely one of the more valuable pieces of this entire course, so let's make sure we're dialed in and we're paying attention. Let's jump into it. I'm going to give you a pro tip to start. Execute this plan I'm about to share with you as quickly as possible. Doing it within the first 48 hours of going under contract guarantees that you're in charge. Let's start with step number 1. Send the contract to your preferred lender. We've already discussed how to select a preferred lender. So hopefully at this point, you have a good lender in your corner ready to go. Send them your contract and ask them for the first quote. Be transparent. Let them know that you intend to shop multiple lenders. Hopefully your preferred lender comes back with the best quote possible. But unfortunately, that's not always the way it shakes out. So let's always make sure we're prepared with a plan B. The next step is to check today's interest rates. I've made that easy for you. You can use the link right here in this class to check today's rates whenever you'd like. It's important to have a starting point and to understand where the market currently sits before you start comparing or analyzing offers. So use the link and check today's rates. I can tell you, sometimes the threat alone of telling your preferred lender that you're going to be shopping around is enough for them to give you the best quote possible out the gate. But if not, let's always make sure we have a backup plan as well. Let's jump to step number 3. If for whatever reason you get that quote back from your preferred lender and you're not absolutely thrilled with it, I've went ahead and I've prepared an email template that's going to make it very simple for you to go out and collect additional quotes from lenders, so that way we can analyze a few extra offers and make sure that we're getting the absolute best deal possible. Before we jump into the email template, let me say this. If you're shopping around with lenders and they tell you that they have to have a full application and a hard credit check, you want your antenna to go up because that is a red flag. Most good lenders that want to compete to earn your business should be available and ready to provide you with a soft quote based on just what the email ahead contains. From there, it's going to be your decision if you want to get a hard quote from them in black and white. But at least you'll have something in writing from them, and you'll then decide whether or not it's worth it to do an online application with them and get that hard quote in writing. Let's jump into the email. Okay, so let's go through the email template that I've prepared for you together, because I want you to understand how and why this works and why it's such an efficient way to collect quotes. The most difficult part that people have when comparing lenders is it's very difficult to compare apples to apples. You're going to see that on the next slides how exactly we're going to decipher these fee sheets, but let's focus on getting the fee sheets in place and making sure that we're collecting comparisons that are apples to apples. So let's go through the email together, and then I'll explain why it's such an efficient way to shop lenders. Hi lender, I went under contract for a home. Attached is the contract. Please provide me with a soft quote today before end of business. If the quote is received tomorrow, I will not be able to consider it. Please make sure my quote includes 0 in discount points and shows all of your lender fees and credits, including but not limited to admin fees, underwriting fees, origination fees, processing fees, lender credits, and below are my specs. Okay, so the reason that this is so efficient and such an effective email is because you are now taking the power away from the lender. Most lenders are going to come out with a soft quote and they're really not going to be very committal to their terms. So what you want to do is put them on the back foot and make sure that they understand, hey, I know exactly what I'm doing, and this email will make their antenna go up, and they'll start to say, wow, I better be able to get the best quote possible to this client because I have the feeling they know what they're doing and they know how to save money. Okay, so when we say, hey, we want the quote today, the biggest reason is the market shifts from minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. So it's important that we want to always compare the quotes on the same business day. You don't want to get a quote today from lender number 1 and another quote from lender number 2 tomorrow, because tomorrow the rates might be different, or the lender credits or their fees might be slightly different. So it's really important we always get the quotes on the same day. Next, we're setting up and we're setting the table the type of loan that we want, which is going to be a low cost loan. This is extremely, extremely important because what you're going to see a lot of the time with advertised rates is that they're advertising 1 point. 1 point is 1% of the loan amount. So, for example, if it's a $500,000 loan, they might try to sneak in $5,000 worth of additional closing costs. With this email template, we nix all of that. We've taken our leverage, we've taken our power back, and we're telling them we don't want to see quotes where we're paying thousands of dollars of upfront interest. We want the best free quote today. And if you can't provide that, we're going to move on to a lender that can. Right? So next we say, hey, we want your fees to all be included, because sometimes what we see, especially from second rate lenders, is they're going to show you an admin fee. They're going to show you an underwriting fee, and it's going to be suppressed or it's going to be low, and that should be a red flag. And then the next thing that happens when you actually get official loan, a loan estimate which is locked, you're going to see that now there's points that have been built in, or origination compensation that's been built in. So our job as a consumer is to make sure that we set the table for exactly what we want. This email does just that. The next part is fill in the blank. So you're going to see when we say my specs, that should be your financial profile, which you are giving to the lender. Some lenders might say, hey, I want you to go ahead and jump online and do a mortgage application with me to do a soft quote. The number one question you need to ask if you're considering this is, can you just do this on a soft credit check? Lenders might tell you that, hey, you have a window here where you can do as many hard checks as possible and it's not going to ding your credit. Well, ding, it's a loose definition, okay? It's going to be multiple inquiries on your credit. It's only going to hit your credit, meaning pull your score down once, but the inquiries will be on there for the next foreseeable future, so for several years. So it's very important that if you're going to go ahead and do an online application to receive a soft quote from a lender, that you say to them, hey, I only will do this process with you with a soft credit check. If not, my expectation for after I send this email is simply you send me a soft quote, and that should be in the form of a closing cost worksheet. In the classes ahead, we're going to cover exactly how you compare these lenders once you get their quotes emailed to you. Okay, so again, remember, 2 acceptable forms of quotes: closing cost worksheets and loan estimates. In the next class, hang with me, we're going to cover a few samples, and I'm going to show you exactly how lenders try to be a little bit sneaky and make their numbers look better than the rest. The biggest thing, again, which is how we started, it's our job to figure out how to compare lenders apples to apples, because that is going to give us the truth about what are the best mortgage terms available to me from the lenders that I've selected to work with.